What's up, fam? Welcome back to Dirty Laundry. As per one of my very good mates, Scotty, thank you very much for your suggestion to actually drink a beer instead of wine, so that I maintain my masculinity whilst online and not lose it like I did in high school with you and the other boys, because I was the only one who did wine. And it's quite a I don't know if it's a paradox or whatever it is, but I am consuming the thing that is currently consuming us. So in actual fact, I am fighting this pandemic one beer at a time. Thanks again for coming back and watching. We are on a roll with these podcasts. I will show you the updated setup, and the reason why it looks a lot brighter is because for my birthday, my family got me an amazing light thing. It's like a Ryobi thing. It's actually for working with cars, but look at this, it's perfect. It's perfect for the dark studio outdoor thing that we got going on. I should have started doing beer from the beginning. That's really cool. Anyway, super sensitive topic for you today. I think I have to name this history does not always repeat, but it does often rhyme. I'm hoping everyone's had an opportunity to see on the news about the video that I would have just played right in the very beginning. I'll make sure that's where I put it, about a young lady who unfortunately took it upon herself to do what I'm doing, and that's actually trying to defeat the thing that she believes is responsible for this whole pandemic thing. And I just wanted to have a chat about it because you know what? It's quite an uncomfortable topic, and it is something that's happening in the world. And when I say, that history does not often repeat, but it does often rhyme, is because I know something like this has happened before. And now it's happening to a different, let's say, nationality or different race of people. And you probably, if you were living under a rock, or you're still a youngin', or you don't watch the news, Australia this was a while back, and I actually got a bit of a history lesson from a guy from work about it, about the Cronulla riots. Now, from what I've been told, how it all started was a couple of gentlemen of a Lebanese background, let's say, were walking around Cronulla Beach, flexing, doing their thing, what you do in a group. Started to chat up a couple of girls. Unfortunately, those girls were with some very protective boys. Then there was a lot of back and forth chit chat about don't do this, don't do that, and next thing you know, people were calling people on their mobiles. Ta-da! That's all she wrote. Then we made world headlines for people of this specific nationality not to come here because you're gonna get beat up. The beautiful part about this whole thing was, I believe a hashtag came out. Twitter was still pretty fresh back then. I believe it was like hashtag ride with you. So this is where people would invite people, from Lebanon or the Middle East to actually be with them in the car to provide protection. So again, something bad, something is actually sprouted from it, which is good. It doesn't make it any better, but it's not all bad at the end of the day. There were a lot of people that got hurt. And again, you look at it from both ways. I can't really pick a side here because I think what happened was horrible. Was it called for? Maybe, maybe not. I wasn't there. I can't give you a blow by blow. But what's happening now is, and we haven't seen anything else too crazy happen right now. We're seeing one video, we're seeing a girl over there verbally abusing two other girls, Asian background, you could clearly see, throwing in the big C word in there. The innuendos. And I'm pretty, I don't know, do we start to now get a little bit worried about what can actually happen to anybody with, you know, really fair skin and I don't know, that has an Asian or Oriental look to them. You know, I'm one of them, and you know, so are my kids. They're the cutest Asian babies you'll find, seriously. But it just begs to differ. Are we going to expect a rhyme of history? Now, the last podcast I did, I had a really, really beautiful comment by request. If she's listening, much love and congratulations on baby number 2. But she wrote a line in one of her comments where she said, "The world works together." And I just thought that was beautiful, because it is true. And as Boy Scouty as it sounds, the world genuinely works better together. You will find people, unfortunately, who will take advantage of that working together scenario, but it is still a beautiful thing. You're going down, mate. So, what can we actually take away from this whole thing? Look, because nothing really, let's say, physical has happened, let's say in comparison to our Cronulla riots and all that, should we be worried? No, I don't think so. Personally, I don't think so. But at the same time, I wasn't those two ladies that got verbally and actually physically attacked, spat on as well. And pretty much blamed for this whole pandemic which is happening because of their religion. Or not religion, sorry, their race or their nationality. And it's a horrible thing to see, and I would hate to see anybody get pretty much bashed, verbally abused or anything like that, purely because of where they were born. I think it's horrible. You can't choose where you're born. You are what you are, and that's pretty much it. I think the worst thing about it is there will be some people on the fence going, well, we don't know what happened to this girl who was actually hurling the abuse. Maybe you know, she had lost her job because of this whole pandemic. Maybe she had family members who had passed away, again, lost work and everything like that, and she needed someone to blame, she needed someone to take her anger out on, and unfortunately, you know, when the mind is a little crazy, it tends to do things that we don't really think over. I'm not commending what she's done. I think it was disgusting personally, but I always have a saying where, you know, no one's a dickhead for no reason. There's always a reason for it. Right? No one is born bad. They're either taught to be bad or they're influenced by their surroundings and all. But no, everybody is pretty much born curious, right? Because we don't know what's right and what's wrong. So we're actually learning as we go. I don't know what's with this girl. Has something actually happened to her? And again, I'm not here to defend her, but this is why I'm saying that it is like a pretty uncomfortable thing to talk about. Will we actually start seeing more and more of these attacks? I mean, are they already happening, but they're just not being televised by the media to try to avoid, let's say, another catastrophe any more panic? Is the Australian government really going, well, you know what, we're already going crazy over, you know, some of our basic essential needs, food, toilet paper, and so forth. We do not need to add another layer of panic, fear, and anything like that into the public. That could be a reason why we're not seeing anything. Maybe it's not even happening. Right? Maybe we've learned a lesson or two after the Cronulla riots. Is racism still alive in the world? 100%. But are people a little bit more, let's say, educated about race, where people come from? What good does racism bring to the world? Is it just a taboo thing, you know? You're always going to get your radical, super racist. One or two people I've met, you know, I laughed and just let them be on their way. But it's the way they were brought up. It's how they were taught the world works. It's what they believe is right. Granted, I don't believe, in Australia anyway, that racism is as far-fetched or far out as it is in the States or pretty much anywhere else. I think we all get along quite well. We accept that Australia is a multicultural country, and we always hope for the best in people. We always hope that they bring the best of themselves to make this country even better than what it actually is. Now, that's me being positive. On the flip side, and again, it's probably not the best way to think about it, but you know, maybe there is some underground organization that we don't even know about, which is plotting this whole thing. And this is just the start. My message that I really just want to give out to people is, you know, just based on our current situation, there really is no need to get angry at anybody here. We're all suffering, maybe not the big elites, but you and I and everyday people, we are suffering. I've been told today by Kat that if you're in the park, you can't even just be sitting down and eating. Like, you can't have a picnic. You literally have to be moving. There are already police officers on electric bikes or whatever push bikes they are, handing out fines. Who would have thought a day would come where I can't go to the park and sit down, have a sandwich, and you know, not be worried that I might actually get a fine for doing that? Can any more good come out of these, you know, stay-at-home type things? I mean, I believe, according to the statistics on the news anyway, our cases are dropping. But are they dropping because we're not testing, or are they dropping because we are trying to put a positive spin on our current situation, and we don't want to alarm the public and say, oh my goodness, we've seen a 400% increase in, you know, cases in New South Wales or in Australia, period? I don't know. And this is a problem with not knowing who to believe. We don't know the facts. We don't know who we should be believing. Do we trust the media? I don't know. Can you trust the media? Or are we better off just, you know, patting ourselves in the back and saying, hey, we can get through this. This is not going to be much of a hassle. I mean, if anything, it gives us the time to reconnect with the people that we should be connecting with, which is our family. And this is our silver lining. But guys, look, it's again, it's another sensitive topic. I just want everyone to be safe. You know, I've got kids. A lot of you have kids. A lot of you have siblings that have kids, whatever it may be. This is a time when really, if I'm speaking from the heart, this is a time that we are supposed to just harden up. Let's try to work together Let's cop this thing on the chin. And you know what? This 6-month time frame where things will get better, maybe it might actually happen sooner. You know, I think the government will always give a far out time span just so that they can be safe. And I think that's also a reason why a lot of people are panicking. When they said that 6 months time frame, even my blood just dropped. I was like, oh my God, 6 months of this. It's gonna be a hard one. Anyway, guys, we've got a lot of new followers on Instagram. We've got a lot more people sharing the posts and the podcasts. And you know what? It might not seem much to you, but it is a lot to me. Again, this is really me being able to vent about my day, what's going through my head, and you know, my kids can't understand all these topics, so it's good again to connect with the people out there. I appreciate it. Much love, and great idea, Scotty. We'll see you next time on Dirty Laundry.